Hello everybody and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be going over the strategy battle game update for Desolation of Smaug, the rulebook, as well as the Mirkwood Rangers from that set. I will be getting more from the Hobbit line from Desolation of Smaug. Picked up a couple of boxes of the Mirkwood Rangers and the strategy battle guide update this week, and throughout the next couple months I'll be picking up more as I can afford them. So we'll go ahead and start with the strategy battle game book here first, and then we'll kind of go over the unboxing of the Rangers. So we'll move this out of the way. With the rulebook, you have basically a supplement that adds more characters from the second movie to the core rulebook set that was released in Unexpected Journey. So you look here, you see it's got some great photos of the new models available. A bunch of new character profiles in there in the introduction. A couple of new features in here. Starting with these new scenarios from the films, you can see that they're basically film-based or book-based. So you see there on that page, for example, you have Bjorn surrounded by Azog and some of his hunters. So you've got some movie-based scenarios here. That takes up about the first half of the book. Takes you through the movie, like Barrels Out of Bond, where you've got the dwarves in their barrels going down the river while the orcs and the dwarves fight, or not, yeah, orcs, dwarves, and the Mirkwood units fight it out. So then you've got your linking your game. So this kind of ties in with the first several scenarios from the Unexpected Journey books. So you can continue your movie / book campaign through this movie and the last, linking how well you do if you're playing good or evil, and then each time you complete a game it adjusts or makes the difficulties harder or easier for the next scenario in the storyline there. After that you have a couple of new scenarios that are like generic scenarios, I like to call them. They're basically scenarios that you can use in point-based random games against opponents. So these are usually two-player games with new objectives. You also have some new house rules for like playing in a Mirkwood setting, some of the effects that happen when you play in Mirkwood. So you've got Rescue is a new one, Blockade is a new one, and Seize the Prize is a new one. So they've gone in and revamped those scenarios there. So there's 3 new ones you can play in addition to the 6 that they offer in Unexpected Journey. After that you've got just some shots of some of the armies that they have painted up from the movies, as well as a painting tutorial, how to paint your models. So that's a good section too. Shows some good insight on how to handle it. And then it's at the end of the book is what a lot of us are waiting for, the new heroes and villains of Middle-earth. These are the new characters that are going to be available from the movie Desolation of Smaug. So you have Thranduil, you have Torrio, and Legolas. Thranduil and Legolas have the same stats as they do in Lord of the Rings supplements, which I like. And then Torrio is a new character for Desolation. So she's really cool. They have the Palace Guard captains, the Mirkwood Ranger captains. You've got Thrain the Broken, I'm sorry. You have Bjorn in his human form, and you can see him there in his bear form. That's not available yet, but I assume it'll be out before the next movie. So there are a couple of coming soon figures in here that we will be seeing, I'm sure, over the next coming months. You have Bard, you have Captain of Dale. So they do have the Dale stats. Or units that weren't in Unexpected Journey. You have Girion, Lord of Dale. You also have the Master of Lake Town. You have Alfred the Chancellor, or Counselor, I'm sorry. So these are characters I'm assuming we'll see in tomorrow's movie. Tomorrow's the release date, so I'm looking forward to that. Lake Town Guard, of course. Mirkwood Rangers. You have your Palace Guard, your Lake Town Guard, and then your Warriors of Dale. So those are the good heroes. Then you've got Yasnog. So they finally released the Yasnog stats. Gundabad Orc Captain, Gundabad Orc Warriors, Mirkwood Spiders. They have new abilities. And then your army lists. And then the reference guide that has all their stats there. So that's in essence what's in the book. like I said, it does bring in a lot of the models that were missing stats from Unexpected Journey when they came out with the models, but no stats for them. So that fills that gap up. Also produces some previews to some models yet released from the second line of Desolation of Smaug. And then I picked up these Mirkwood Rangers. They're coming in 10 in a box now. I noticed they made that change since it looks like the Warriors of Dale is when I first noticed that they started doing 10 counts of their miniatures. The miniatures are great in the Hobbit line. They're worlds above the Lord of the Rings lines that were produced several years ago. So, or I guess you'd say sculpted several years ago. They're still producing them. My only gripe with that is with the new rules where their emphasis on warbands, where you have 12 in a unit. I would think it would make sense to put 12 in a box. That way you can have a warband whenever you buy a box. That being said, me and my buddies decided to split a box of these so that we could get even counts on our warbands. I bought 2 boxes, and then I'm going halves on a third box so that I can get my 24 Mirkwood Rangers, so I can have 2 warbands of those for my collection. But in the box itself, I've already unwrapped this one. You get your bases. You get 10 bases, and they're solid now, so it doesn't look like they have the little dividers or plastic sprues that you would put in the center of the base like you do on some of the older models. So as you can see, these new models, like I said, they're freestanding. They don't have the little bars across their feet anymore, or their feet anymore. But the quality on them is really good. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can take a good look at some of the detail on these guys. These guys are really incredible. I love them. Just to give you an idea on this one here, yeah, that one there, you can see there, like the armor itself looks almost like petals or leaves, if you will, like around the waist. Like it's, you can see the poses on them are very dynamic. It's kind of, and it looks like they come in like 2 to 3 pieces depending on the model there. So there's a little bit of assembly there, but not a whole lot. But just kind of go over some of these. There's some crouching there. Yeah, I mean, they're just really solid looking. I mean, if you look at like this guy's hand, is just, I mean, just you know, the pose of his fingers and everything like that. You don't have a lot of that in the old ones. It's just usually just a guy holding a shield or a sword and kind of a rigid pose. My buddy Tim and I were talking about that, and that he put it an excellent way, where you only had 1 or 2 different poses on those new models. Every one of these guys is in a different pose, so that's really solid. Like I said, I mean, it's a minor gripe that they don't come 12 to a pack anymore. I much rather have the quality here than, you know, just 12 rigid models. So, you know, I'll just go ahead and continue to split a box with my buddies and go that route to make sure I get my war bands. But yeah, these guys are really awesome looking, just really outstanding. So that's kind of in a nutshell. Taking the kids to the movies on Saturday morning. They have a neat little place out here in Aurora, Colorado called the Movie Tavern, where you can eat or order dinner or breakfast or lunch while you watch the movie. So we're going to be doing pancakes and watching the new Desolation of Smaug, and get to see that movie in all its glory. I have been reading the reviews on it, and even the critics and everyone that has seen the movie say it's so much better than Unexpected Journey. I really liked Unexpected, so I'm sure I'm really going to love this. I'm really excited to see how Cumberbatch does Smaug. So anyways, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Just want to give you guys an update on some of the stuff that I got recently, and stay tuned for more videos and battle reports. Thanks again for watching, guys.